Okay, let's continue with the example. Here's another example here. This time it's all going on within an initialization block. That's what this is. Starts there and ends there. It's a piece of initialization code. And here we've got a member declaration for D there, so that will produce global $D. And here we go here. The first thing in here, new D, that's going to create a new D, and the one it creates will be global $D. That's because the scope of this, being a member, of course, has got a member scope, so it goes right from the beginning to the end of the class. So that's why it picks up that one. Here's a class definition for D here, and this time it's going to be global $1D because it's a local class. And if we do new D here, of course we're going to get global $1D, as it'll be that one it's picked up. If we try and do something like that though, declare a block and put another definition for D in, you'll get an error because it redeclares D in the same block. So that's not allowed. However, if we do something like this, put another class, a local class declaration in, call it another D, then inside this, if we put something like this in, a method like that in, we can certainly declare a D inside there, and it's going to be global $1 another D, $1D. And if however we try and create a D there, of course it's not going to be that one because it's gone out of scope at the end of that, so the D that gets selected will be that one up there. Okay, so that's all more or less what you'd expect, really, I think. But just to re-emphasize things, okay, these local classes are treated just like member classes, basically. They get flattened, so all the dollar and stuff gets put into them. Any necessary access methods are inserted and used, and the only differences are, first of all, you can't access the type outside the method block or constructor where it's declared, and it can access local variables provided they're final. And of course, being final, of course, means they've got to be set before you use them. So bear that in mind. When it comes to local classes accessing local variables, here's a problem that may occur to you. Okay, supposing you got your local class and it extends some top level class, and the method which contains the definition of the local class ends up storing an instance of it in some field in a top level class somewhere. As I've shown already, that's not too difficult to do. Now supposing something else comes along and uses that field to start calling methods in the local class. Now some of those methods might start using variables which are final local variables long after that local method has stopped running, and so it's no longer in scope. So that's the problem, and if that's not quite clear, let me show you exactly what I mean. Here we've got a class A with a method in it, xyz, that returns 1. Here we've got this class G, and in it is something of type A, which is called hold local, which we're going to use to hold the local. Here's this method, and in it is this local class which extends A. And as it extends A, we might as well overwrite xyz and return I, which is this final local thing here that's being passed into this method. Okay, so what does the local method do? Well, it just creates a new instance of local and sticks it in hold local. And we come down here, this is public static void main, usual stuff, and all that does is just run this test here, which of calls M with 54321. So M comes in here with 54321. Okay, passed into there, and this stores a version, stores a new instance in hold local. Then we come along later and print out hold local.xyz. Right, now what's going to run? Well, it isn't going to be that. It's going to be the overridden version in this local class it runs, and that's the value which will end up running, and it will return I. So what do you expect it to return? Well, believe it or not, it returns 54321 as the value that was passed in, and it does not return 1. And of course you could do this call anywhere miles later. You could do it hours later, long after this thing is finished. You could run that call. So at first sight, of course, this might seem alarming. How on earth does it manage to do that? But we will see, in fact, how this is done in the next slide.